Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Big shout out to the new subscriber. We are building here properly. We've got lots to talk about. United against West Ham, and the other big headline being Tottenham have pulled the plug on their manager after only 8 months, and that just shows you how ruthless modern football is. So let's get into it. We'll start with United against West Ham. Was it a point gained or a point lost? A lot of people thought it's going to be easy. 3 points we should be getting from this, taking into account our confidence, 4 games in a row, beating some big teams along the way. But I always thought it's going to be a tough game. It's going to be scrappy. They're going to sit in a low block and try and hit us on the counter. And they're going to be a threat from crosses and set pieces. And that's exactly what happened. The first half was quite boring. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sugarcoat this. The first half was boring. It was two teams that were scared of losing. Both retreating to the edge of their D, sitting in low blocks and hoping to hit on a counter. The problem with that is if both teams are trying to do the same thing, nobody gets anything done. Nothing happens because both teams are doing the same thing. If anything, it was West Ham that probably took more credit into the halftime than us, because at the end of the day, that was their game plan, to sit in a low block, hit counters, long balls, and then thrive off throw-ins, crosses, set pieces, all of that. And our job was to break it down. And also for me, I wanted to see Michael Carrick. I wanted to see what Michael Carrick does when things are not working, when his system is not working. Can he tweak it? And for a vast majority of this game, we didn't seem like we had a plan B, right? Which is kind of a problem. The only saving grace for him was right at the end, he went for it. And the funny thing is, everybody was talking about Amarin's 3 at the back and all of that. He went 3 at the back and we got the draw. Sometimes football's like that, right? We were complaining about 3 at the back and we got a draw from 3 in the back, right? In the second half, the thing that annoyed me is I think that I've seen, not just with this manager, not with Amarin, for the last couple of seasons in terms of Manchester United, I've always had a problem with tempo. And tempo is very important in games like this. Because when your opponent are sitting in a low block, they're going to be compact. You can't really get in behind them, right? The thing that you have to do is increase your tempo. You have to move the ball faster to move them out of position. And also, once they come out of that, because what West Ham was doing was sitting in the low block and then hitting us on the counter, right? But for us, when we did get the ball back from them hitting a counter, in this situation, this is where tempo is very important. Like, at that point, we have to move the ball fast. We have to. Otherwise, what's going to happen is we're going to pass it. But we might as well tell West Ham, all right, guys, we're on our way, get ready, set up. And that's exactly what we were doing. We were allowing them to set up. We get the position back, and then we pass. And before we know it, West Ham are in their defensive shape, back into their low block, hard to break down, compact, right? And then the thing is, the goal came from what I've said we struggled with. All season long, I've been saying, even under Amarin, I've always said our kryptonite is balls into the box. We cannot defend balls into the box for some reason. And again, we saw it. And also, Kobbie Mainoo, you've been performing so well over the last 4 games, but you kind of went to sleep there because that was your man. You need to be aware of your man. And I don't really blame Kobbie because I don't see Kobbie as that kind of defensive-minded player. He's not. So them kind of mistakes are to be expected from Kobbie Mainoo, right? So then I thought, Once they scored, I thought, man, we're gonna lose our momentum. And the funny thing is, when I was watching this game, everybody was talking about, United have conceded. That guy's not getting a haircut. I am sick to death of hearing about this guy and his bloody haircut. Right? All I'm hearing is turned into this haircut thing has turned into a cup final. It's putting more pressure on us. Me as a fan, you as a fan, you're probably thinking, bloody hell, I hope he gets a haircut. Bro, just get your haircut, man. Someone cut his hair out, please. Someone just go cut his hair because this is becoming a curse, right? When we're going into games and when we're thinking, okay, yeah, we can keep momentum, but even Sky Sports are saying, oh, it looks like that guy won't get a haircut. I don't care about that guy and his haircut, man. I'm sick of it. So let me just say that I'll put it out there. I'm sick of this guy's haircut, man. It's not a fucking trophy. It's not. It's a dude that has said he's not going to cut his hair until we win 5 games in a row. That's it. They've turned it into like a trophy. There was more pressure on us about him getting a haircut than us getting the win. And that's just me saying it. But let's move on. So, they scored, and I thought, I'm not going to lie. I was watching this game. Bruno Fernandes, non-existent, Casemiro, Brian Mbeumo, like all our guys that have been doing good over the last 4 games, they weren't really doing much in this game, if I'm honest. Bruno Fernandes couldn't do anything because he wasn't getting that space to operate that he has in the previous 4 games. Brian Mbeumo, even though he did get the assist, I don't know, man. Sometimes I just feel like he's not the most fittest player. His touches are not that great. But he did get the assist. But he wasn't great. Diego Dallo, another inconsistent performance. Luke Shaw. But Luke Shaw. That was a World Cup Luke Shaw. That was the Luke Shaw that there's no World Cup. Because, bro, what are you doing for their goal as well? What are you doing for their goal? Like, the thing that they always say is, when a ball's coming, never let it bounce. Then I think Martinez confused him a little bit because he looked like he was going towards the ball. And then Luke Shaw was like, oh, Martinez can deal with it. Nah, man, you can't be doing that. You got to deal with it because you're closer to the ball. Even if this guy's coming to it. If you hit each other, you hit each other. Take one for the team. But you have to deal with it. You can't let the ball bounce. He lets the ball bounce. And then whatever happened after happened. So I'm going to have to point the finger at Luke Shaw for this one. Even though he has been World Cup Luke Shaw over the last couple of games, predominantly he's been a World Cup Luke Shaw, but there's been moments in the season where he's been when there's no World Cup. That's what I'm saying. Because that's my opinion on Luke Shaw. There's Luke Shaw when there's a World Cup, and then there's Luke Shaw when there's no World Cup. I'll take the World Cup one. That's all I'm saying, right? So they scored. Like I said, it was as the time went on, I just thought this goal's not coming. Goal's not coming, man. We keep doing the same thing. There's no intensity. We're not moving the ball fast. We're not trying to disrupt West Ham and their system. Right? We're not trying to move them about because football is all about moving your opponents. The more you move your opponents, especially in a low block, when they're in a low block, it's all about tempo, moving the ball, doing things quickly. Doesn't allow them time to reset. So I thought, there we go. The momentum's gone. Like we're gonna have to do it again. And then Michael Carrick, to his credit. I give credit where credit's due. Michael Carrick, to his credit, didn't do a Ruben Amorim and bring a... Oh, sorry. I lie. He did do a Ruben Amorim. He did do a Ruben Amorim and he did bring in a defender. Euro. And before I actually talk about the goal, we need to talk about when the game is at 1-0. Lenny Euro, my gosh, he had two moments and it got us the draw. I'm not going to lie. A lot of people will see the goal. But them 2 tackles by Lenny Euro, one on Bowen and I can't remember who the other one was, but both in front of our goal, both one-on-one. Great defending. And like I said, I'm about giving credit where credit is due, so I'm giving credit for that. That guy kept us in the game. Lenny Euro kept us in the game. It could have been 3-0, right? That didn't happen. Then Michael Carrick brings on the big man himself, the guy they call Sesko. But that strike wasn't Benjamin Sesko. That was Benjamin Sesko, man. That finish. Gokaris can't do that finish. I'm telling you, right? A lot of people might talk about this kid. And that's the other thing people don't forget. He's a kid. He's only 20, 21, right? But that finish was elite. Brian Mbeumo crosses the ball. This guy reacts first and just caresses the ball into the top corner. And then the game is done from there. So, is it, like I said, I'll go back to my point earlier. Is it a point gained, a point dropped? Let me know in the comments. Then this morning I wake up. And I find out Tottenham have pulled the plug on Thomas Frank. They got tired of his chewing and pointing and just looking confused on the sideline. They said enough is enough. And this is good for expressions for his health. So they pulled the plug 8 months in. And a lot of people will be like, oh, it's a bit early. I'm going to say to you, it's not early. Football is not about sentiment. Football is about results. And this brother clearly was not getting the results. We saw him against us. All right, granted, it was 10 men. But he looked confused. He looked like he had no ideas. He was fighting with his backroom staff, right? So in that sense, he wasn't the guy. But then when you pay attention, when you look at their results, these results are not even good for Brentford. Like, when he came, I thought he's a decent manager. I've said it prior. I've watched interviews where he's talking about using analytics, data to improve players, right? But that might work at Brentford, right? But at big teams, you have not got that time to build the data, to get... You're not going to get that time at Tottenham. You're not. And then on top of that, you got to remember where they are. They're 16th. 5 points above the drop. Team like Tottenham cannot be 16th and only 5 points above the drop. Team like, I'm not saying they're the biggest, they're the best team, whatever. But they're still a top 6 team. Let's not lie to ourselves. They're a top 6 team. They can't be 16th. You can't have won 2 games in 17 games. You just can't. You're asking for a job. You're asking for the sacking. If that's your results. They've not won a game in the Premier League in 9 games. Right? A lot of people are shocked. I'm not. I'm shocked that he stayed in the job longer than Maresca and Amorim. They finished, when they got sacked, they were 5th and 6th, respectively. Right? So how's it took this long for him to get the sack? It was a matter of every week, they drop points. I thought, today's going to get a sack. He does it. Today's going to get a sack. He does it. And today he got the sack. And that shows you football, modern football, it's all about results. Brother, if you're not bringing them points, see you later. The thing with him was, I think the thing that saved him the most was the fact that they were doing well in the Champions League, right? So that kind of, he's doing well in the Champions League. All right, let's give him a bit more time. But now there's no Champions League. You're on a death slide. They had to act. And they acted. And in terms of them going forward, in terms of... listen, there were people taking the mick out of me last season. So, listen. In terms of who did they bring in, I think there's only one man for the job. There's only one man for the job. Spurs fans, Spurs board, there's only one number you can ring. His name is Sam Allardyce. That's what Sam Allardyce is the name, because Sam Allardyce is the guy that will keep you up. Right? So send the email, a fax, a phone call, whatever you need to do. But bring Sam Allardyce back. Because the situation that Tottenham are in, I don't care how big they are, but it's a Sam Allardyce kind of job, right? That's who they need. Go get Sam Allardyce and let's see what happens. But another dark horse for me is that they bring back Harry Redknapp. He might be the guy. But I really think Sam Allardyce. Now, no, I'm not joking. Sam Allardyce seems like a nice fit for Tottenham right now, right? But also the thing with Thomas Frank, I kind of feel sorry for the guy. Well, I don't know. Like, I kind of do. Because he's had so many injuries. Bro, the guy started the season with, like, he lost his two best players, Kulusevski, Maddison. And then as time has gone on, injuries, and he's not helped by that kamikaze defender that they've got, right? So I think he can be aggrieved a little bit because he didn't have a team to play, a full team. But saying that, the team he put out against us was a decent team. And if you really look at it, Tottenham are one of them teams that have a huge squad. So I think 2 wins in 17, no wins in 9 Premier League games. That's a recipe for disaster anyway. But I'm just putting it out there that that's what a lot of people will be saying. Yo, he had injuries throughout. So I'm just putting it out there that I do actually believe that everything didn't go his way basically. But I think the board was right. So again, the question is, did Tottenham get it right in terms of pulling the plug now? Right? Should he have had more time? And who should they hire as the guy that's going to do the thing that everybody likes to say is steady the ship? But I said it earlier. And who's going to steady the ship? And that's just football for you, right? Football is result driven. And if you're not getting the results, what do you expect to happen? And also, guys, if you're new here and you like real talk from a real fan, no BS, subscribe, like. Until the next time.